Well, hello. I hope you all had a super duper fantastic day out there today. Yes, your girl is back. I'm back at it. Put it inside the chat. I'm back at it. Look, you may not know that this is what happens Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 o'clock. Now, July was my month. It was my month. It's my national holiday month. It's my birthday, so I take off the month of July. But I'm back at it. Put it in the chat. I'm back at it. It's your girl Denise Merriweather. And before we get into this conversation, let me go ahead and get the song going. Hey, I'm live at 5. 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 Come on inside of the StreamYard room. Yes, I need y'all to be checking in with me. And I know it's going to take a minute to get back into the groove of things. So don't you fret. Your girl will be here. She will be showing up. I will be live at 5. And today the conversation is back at it. So your girl is back at it. And what it is that I do, because some of you guys may not know me, make sure you share this video. Hey, whoever's out there, definitely drop your name in the chat. If my sissy is out there, I'm waiting for my red dress. You done missed the song, so I'm going to need to get my red dress. But listen, my name is Denise Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneurs Jumpstarts program. Yes, it is the #1 training environment in the world for women who are looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business. Yes, we are up in here. We are back. Hey, we live at 5. Look, I'm so excited. Definitely give StreamYard permission to see your name so I can actually see who that is inside of the chat with me. So look, this conversation is back at it. Put it in the chat, back at it. So I've been on break. And it has been amazing. I had an opportunity to spend time with family and friends, and I'm still traveling because tomorrow I'm on my way to Jersey, okay? The fun don't stop. We still in summertime, but I couldn't stay away from you guys any longer. I was going bananas, okay? I missed you so much. So I want to tell you, look, if you have not already purchased your tickets for this year's Worship and Praise Symposium, my husband and I will be on the program this Saturday, and I don't want you to miss it. It starts at 9 o'clock a.m., and it ends at 1 o'clock p.m. You can join virtually or in person at the Southside Church of Christ, located 800 Elmira Avenue in Durham, North Carolina. Put it in the chat, back at it. So look, here's what I've learned while I've been on break and been spending time with family and friends. Number one, the first thing that I did while I was on break was I continued my learning. Put that in the chat. Continued my learning. So I think it's so important sometimes to step away. Tiki T, woo woo. Hey, Tiki T. It's so important to step away and give yourself time and space in order for you to digest like what you've been doing for the first part of the year, what accomplishments you made, what results that you've seen. And similar to what I always tell you, don't be afraid to tweak things. Don't be afraid to change the way that you're doing things. Not that you ultimately change your goal. No, you keep your goals. Your goals are important. Like you don't want to keep changing your aim. You may want to change how you get there, but you don't want to change what the focus is. I was talking to someone on Sunday evening about my conversation I was having with God Sunday morning, which was, you know what, God, I still don't feel like I have my thing yet. You know how some people have or know that they want to impact people or the world in a certain way. See, for me, I know that I want to change the lives of women. I want to give them the voice. I want them to answer their calling. I want them to move when God says move without needing approval or someone to encourage them or push them or pat them on the back or confirm it for them, right? I want their relationship with God to be strong enough that when God say move, you just move just like that, right? That you get into motion about what it is that he has called you to do. So while I was sitting there, I was like, okay, Father, I feel like I'm moving when you tell me to move. I know what my focus and what I believe my calling is, but what is the ultimate impact that I want to see in the world? And here's what I want you to get the same way that I tell myself. It is up to us to decide, right? Or to choose. Put it in the chat. I want to choose. I want to choose. Choose what you want your life to represent, right? Like no one's going to come and tell you. God is not coming from heaven to tell you what causes to get behind, right? He's not doing that. But innately and intuitively, there should be a pull. Put it in the chat. I feel a pull. Put it in the chat. I feel a pull. There should be something pulling you towards it. A cause, a objective, an assignment, a program, a ministry. Like something should be pulling at you, tugging at those heartstrings. Like when you see it, you get moved, touched, and inspired by it. And I don't know what it is for you, but for me, it's women, right? I just want us to have a voice. Don't ask me where it came from or why I felt like this was my thing, but I know that I started to develop myself with self-development conversations. And I think I had shared this with you that I was going to church faithfully each and every week. I was baptized and added to the body when I was like maybe 23, 24. It was back in 2002, February 10th, 2002. Here I am, 35 years old. And it's like the light bulb came on. I was listening to this book called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. The Magic of Believing, just in case you want to go and check it out, put it in the chat, The Magic of Believing. And when I actually was listening to the book, while I was working out, because I was walking and I had an MP3 player. Yep, that should tell you how long ago that was, because I ain't in my 30s no more. I'm in my 40s. But I was listening to my MP3 player while I was on a walk. And the conversation that was happening in the book was so intriguing. It was so exciting. It kind of made the word of God come alive for me, where he actually no longer seemed like a mystical, magical person that was far away, that I couldn't touch, that I couldn't talk to, that I couldn't communicate with. But I actually got that he lives in me. He's communicating within me. He communicates to me through people, through his word. And he was telling me, like, look, teaching and speaking is what you should be doing. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know what the call may be for you, but hopefully you are continuing to learn and develop yourself for what it is you believe he has called you to do. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to know all the things, you're going to know all the people, you're going to know what to do, you're going to know what to say, but you got to position yourself and make up in your mind and choose that even though I don't know what the end is going to be, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I do know the what of what it is that you want me to do. And more importantly, I know the who that's behind me, which is you, God, right? So it will get you in motion. Number two, here's what I was thinking about, y'all. So number two, while I'm learning, number two is I was also thinking about how do I want to serve? How do I want to serve, right? So I want to serve people through a course, coaching, teaching, my programs, classes, working sessions. Like I'm going to do some working sessions this quarter. I know that my first working session is going to be all about social. So for those people who are in business, building businesses, or want to be a social media influencer, or you post, like if you want to get out there and you want to schedule things and program things on social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a podcast, then I'm going to get people in the space. And I'm going to tell you how I actually schedule these things, how I come up with content, how I plan my year, who I plan to collaborate with, what activities, how many times I do the activities. So we're going to get into space. I'm going to give you my roadmap, and then you're going to be able to work. And we're going to ask each other questions, and we'll be in that space for maybe about 2 hours. I think that would be a good time. So, hey, how you doing? So happy to see you. Thank you so much for coming into this space, Georgia. So listen. So as you are thinking about how you want to move forward with the rest of your year, right? We are in August. We are in month 8. We only got a couple of more months before the year is complete. And I want you to be disappointed saying that you haven't done what you wanted to do. You haven't accomplished the goals that you wanted to accomplish. You haven't seen momentum and movement and results in the area of life that you want. So no more coasting, no more sleeping at the wheel. Summer is almost over, so I need you to get back at it. Put it in the chat. I'm back at it. Put it in the chat. Back at it. So I want you to start writing down, how do you want to serve the people? Because the people is where serving the people is where your fulfillment comes, right? That's what I learned as I started this journey of answering my calling and doing what it was that God has called me to do. When I'm most fulfilled is when I'm actually serving the people. When I'm not serving people, I'm not fulfilled. When I'm chasing money, I'm not fulfilled. When I'm doing stuff just to please other people, I'm not fulfilled. When I'm doing busy work just to be busy, just to say that I'm busy and I'm overwhelmed and all that stuff, Missy, come on, I'm back at it. Yes, right? When I'm doing those type of things without being intentionally intentional, I'm just being busy to be busy, to say that I'm doing something or to feel like I'm contributing, doesn't fulfill me. And I don't know what it's going to take to fulfill you, but when I find myself being most fulfilled is when I'm serving the people. When I get an email from a past client and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for what you poured into me right now. I'm using some of those skills, those thought processes, the things that we talked about, and I'm allowing myself to gain momentum and impact the world in the way that I want to, right? Those are the things that fulfill me and lets me know that what I'm doing is worthwhile. What I'm actually sacrificing in my life and giving to other people is actually making a difference. Put this in the chat. I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference. But don't put it in there if you don't want to. Put it in there if it really resonates with you, that I want to make a difference. I know I do. I want to make a difference. And as a matter of fact, when I walk into spaces, and here's something that I want you to adopt. I'm dropping these nuggets and y'all don't even know it. When you walk into a space, I want you to walk in declaring, before you get out your car, before you leave your house, I want you to declare that I am the difference. That I am the difference. Because see, that's going to set how you walk in the space. That's going to set what you're going to say, what you're looking for when you walk through the door. You know, those questions that I tend to talk about when I have a speaking engagement is, why did you come? What are you expecting? And what are you going to contribute to the space? So before you get out your car, before you go into space, I am the difference. Like, I'm here to make a difference because I'm a difference maker. I make the difference. I am the difference. When I come into this space, everything shifts, everything changes, mindsets, attitudes, upsets turns into smiles. Like yesterday, I was on a leadership call and this lady came in. I had just met her. Shout out to her. I don't know. She definitely not watching me. We just exchanged numbers last night. But she came in and she was not in a good mood. But can you get that sometimes you are the person to make a difference, to hold the space for people to be authentically who they are without you judging them, without you talking about them or making them feel bad about who they are and what space they're in? Like, can you actually hold a space for people to be authentic with you, to actually be able to share their upsets and breakdowns as soon as they see your face? And can you be the person to make a difference, to turn that frown to a smile, to turn that upset to joy? Like, do you intentionally make a difference when people are having a bad day? Even if you're having a bad day yourself, instead of you joining in like, girl, I understand. Yes, it's been a doozy for me. It's like, I'm here because I make a difference. I am the difference. Do you get it? The question is, are you the difference? If you're the difference, put it in the chat, because that's what I mean about serving the people. And number 3, y'all don't understand. I'm hype. It's been a while. I'm so happy to be here with you. Number 3, I decided that sharing is so important. Now, my husband and I was having a conversation and he dropped nuggets, because, you know, my honey be dropping these nuggets too. And so I want to thank him. But we was just talking about collaboration, right? And getting in spaces with other people and sharing ourselves and our ideas and all these different things. The question is, do you find yourself in more situations where you're collaborating or you're competing? Put it in the chat, whichever one it is. Like, do you find yourself in more situations where you're collaborating or you're competing? And now this is a mindset. Like, you got to kind of really like get down to the nitty gritty. As I would say, you got to get flat. Put it in the chat. Get flat. Like, be truthful with yourself. When you look at other women doing what you're doing, do you see room for collaboration, or do you ultimately immediately see them as competition? Like, I can't invite them in my space. They'll take my people. I actually, look, let me tell you, I actually got uninvited to a group because the person saw me as competition and not as a collaborator. Even though my intentions were pure, I didn't have no desire to take anything from her. But when people are uncomfortable with your greatness, do you get that no matter how pure your intentions may be, or how you really want to collaborate and be in a partnership with them, that they still see you as competition? I'm sorry, it's a mindset. And you can't fix that for them. And it ain't your, and listen, this is it. It ain't your job to change their mind. Put that in the chat. It's not my job to change their mind now. I don't take it on. It's not your job to change their mind. That's a them problem. Put that in the chat. That's a them problem. It's not my problem. That's a them problem. Because sometimes we take on assignments that don't belong to us, right? We see it as a good work, but every good work ain't your work. Thank you, Brenda Burchard. Every good work is not your work. But when people see you in a different light than how you show up, it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. And I'm gonna do this one last thing I just want to drop in your shanana when it comes to sharing yourself and showing up in the space and making a difference. Look, if you are not able to create a result in a conversation or a relationship that you really, really want to see, I want you to check yourself. Because the way that you show up either gives people the space to be authentic or it gives them the space to fake it. Either you make them feel secure in who they are or you make them feel insecure about who they are. And what do I mean by that? I mean your conversation, your language. And remember how I told you I walked into that space last night and I allowed that young lady to come in and share how she wasn't feeling like being in this space and all those things with no judgment, right? Really getting where she was like, well, tell me what's going on. What can I do? What can I do? How can I be a space for listening to what's happening with you so I can understand where you are and shift your perception or perspective or point of view on what it is that you're going through? Can you be that for somebody else? Because if you know who you are and you see yourself on how I see you, right? Georgia, Missy, who was the other person that came up in Tiki T? If you can actually see yourself how I already see you, I know that you're the person to make a difference. Other than that, you wouldn't even be attracted to me. You wouldn't even be listening to me, right? Because we make a difference. We make a difference. We make a difference. And that's a choice. So listen, I'm back at it. Put it in the chat. I'm back at it. You can join me here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 o'clock for Deneen Live at 5. Today is all about back at it. Learning, serving, and sharing. That's what I'm back at. I don't know about you. I don't know what your thing gonna be, but that's what I am committed to for the rest of this year. Hopefully there's something that you're committed to as well. Georgia, that was my first time seeing you inside of this space. Do not be a stranger. I want you to continue to come back. Listen, Missy, Tiki T, I need y'all to tag people. I need you to share this video. Share this video. With this business, share this video. But you can't share it inside of the private group. You got to share it from either my business page or maybe, I don't even think you can share, or the YouTube link. Because I'm live on YouTube, so you could go grab them links and share that with people. But go to the business page, me with the pink jacket, share this video to your personal page. Tell people we back at it. And we're going to finish this end of this year strong. So get ready all the rest of this week. Start writing your stuff down. What you're going to learn, how you want to serve, what you're going to be sharing, because it's time for us to get to work. Love you. Always looking forward to serving you. I'm back, and I'm live at 5 Hey. I'm live at 5 Hey.